Hello, and welcome to another episode of Memory and Engagement Opportunities for Wellness. I'm your host, Michelle Hobb. I'm a speech-language pathologist and the leader for the Meadowlark Special Programs. I hope you will enjoy this segment of MEOW. So just to review, last week our homework was a challenge your brain activity. So I asked you to draw 10 body parts. So we were working on a couple different things here. One is just naming, so naming and recall. So some body parts that we were naming. But then the next task was to draw 10 body parts that have only 3 letters. So those 3-letter body parts such as eye, ear, lip, hip, rib, those types of words. And then to draw those body parts, but add an extra cognitive challenge by doing it with your non-dominant hand. So I'm really curious how you did with that. I hope that it felt like something a little bit uncomfortable. I also hope that you didn't give up, that you kept trying. The goal for this is to really make sure that we are stimulating our brain, that we are giving it things to keep the plasticity of our brain engaged. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go throughout the session today. But if you want to turn in what you drew, I'd love to see them. You can turn them in at the front desk and they will get me a picture of them. So, also, part of your homework from last week was to continue to be moving and moving multiple times a day. We talked about, and you've seen in the messenger and on the TV, lots of opportunities for the virtual wellness Olympiad in keeping moving. What's good for the heart is good for the brain. So keep it going, keep staying motivated, and keep moving. Also, social distancing, as what we've been told we need to do, is really not what I want you to do. I'm good with you being physically distanced, but we don't want to be socially distant. So stay connected, and hopefully you were able to take some time over this last week to call or write to a friend or family member. We know from research after research that, especially in the older population, that the more social contacts, and that doesn't always have to be physical, but those social pools or those social connections can help with cognitive skills, cognitive reserves, as well as social and emotional well-being. So stay connected. So today's purpose is, of course, to get you to engage and to attend to tasks. I'm also going to have you do some learning and exploring and remembering. And of course, we'll try some brain and body work together. And then lastly, we'll do a little laugh. And who knows, I might mess up at some point in this segment again. And you'll get a good laugh at me as well. And that's totally okay. So brain and body work. We're going to start this activity as we have most of the times in which we've done this. And we're just going to start with marching. So we're just bringing our legs up and moving our arms. If you have difficulties with the marching, you can also do it with just heel raises. So just bringing up the back of the leg, coming up onto those toes and marching that way. Okay, so either just doing like heel raises or doing a full march. Okay, but the goal with this is to get that heart rate going a little bit. And we're also working on some bilateral movements where we have opposite arm, opposite leg moving. Okay, so we're engaging the entire brain with these movements. So we're just going to take another couple seconds. And make sure you're smiling too. It's always good to smile. Engages those muscles in the face. All right, so the next thing we're doing is we're going to add in raising our right arm for all the vowels. Now don't stop marching. Those feet need to keep moving. But we're going to just go through the vowels, and every time we say a vowel, we're going to raise up our right arm. So let's do just the vowels. So it would be A, E, I, O, U. Now you notice I didn't stop marching. So that whole time, even when my right arm was up in the air, my left arm was still swinging and my feet were still going. Okay? So that's our task with our vowels. Now let's do consonants. This time, we're going to again continue marching, and then we're going to cross our arms over our chest when we come to a consonant. And again, go right back into that march. Keep that heart rate going. Get that breathing going. Here we go. So we've got C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, and Y could be here or here, right? And Z. Good. So we're still marching. So you can see on that one probably that I got off a little bit on my marching. Here I go again, talking and marching at the same time. So let's just go ahead and go through the whole alphabet here real quick and get just a little bit more practice. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. All right, so there we go. So that was good. I almost messed up on that one, but y'all helped me stay going. Okay, so now we're gonna keep going here. We're going to go on in and do some words now. Okay, so the first word is May. Okay, so here we go together. M-A-Y, or could be M-A-Y. Why? Okay, so May, that was our first word. Our second word is pretty. Pretty. Here we go. And P, R, E, T, T, Y. Pretty. All right. The next word is grow. And here we go with grow. G, R, O, W. Good. All right, our fourth word is water. Water. And W, A, T, E, R. Water. I'm trying to get back into my rhythm here. I'm having a hard time with rhythm. Not out of the question for that to happen for me. Okay? Now, prune is the next word. Prune. So we have P, R, U, N, E. Prune. Good. Okay, so now what is the word that we're describing? What's the object we've been describing with all of those words? Think about what all those words are. Right. You got it. Flowers. Okay, so let's do the word flowers. Here we go. And F, L, O, W E R S. Excellent. Good job. All right. So now again, hopefully your legs actually are even maybe a little bit tired after that. But we want to get that heart rate up, get that breathing going, and do something that we have to think about with our body and our brain. So there's your brain and body workout for the day. So today, when you do your walk down memory lane, with your paper or your journal or log, whichever one you're using, I would like you to talk about memories with flowers. I'm going to leave it kind of open because I'm not really sure where you want to take this. It could be, thinking back to picking dandelions for your mother, and thinking that those were the most beautiful flowers you could ever give to your mother. It might be walking through a pasture with the flowers. It might be planting flowers with your children. So whatever those memories are that you would like to share, I'd like you to do that here. Again, remember that we want to think about the senses. Obviously when we're talking about flowers, we can involve a lot of senses, from sight to smell to touch. So all of those things. But then we also want to make sure that we incorporate those emotions, those feelings that came along with those senses and with those experiences. So jot it down in your little log or journal that you will later, after class, take your walk down memory lane and talk about your memories with flowers. I had a really great new memory starting. So this past weekend being Mother's Day, I had a couple of people in our memory program who had shared that they had a tradition of planting flowers on Mother's Day weekend. So I decided that although my kids are older, that still I think it was a great time to start a new tradition in our family. So we did some planting on Mother's Day as well, and started planting some flowers. So that hopefully in years down our lane, I'll be able to write about that first year that we did planting on Mother's Day weekend as well. So enjoy that time down memory lane. Moving into memory strategies, we're going to work today on practicing memory skills. Okay, this involves repetition and creating a story or a visualization, And we've talked in the past about some repetition or rehearsal, but today I just want to work on that a little bit more. And then I also want to work on this new creating a story concept with you. It might not be new to you, but it's the first time we've talked about it together. So our repetition strategy is just what it says. We're going to repeat to ourselves what it is that we want to remember. So our first trial is dirt, bud, spade. Okay, so let's repeat those together again. Dirt, bud, spade. Okay, and again, dirt, bud, spade. Okay, so we're going to remember those three words from repetition. Okay, so now let me go back here. We'll take just a second and I should have some music playing, but that I'm kind of nervous about playing music right now after hearing all of the different lawsuits that are happening because of people using music illegally. But don't worry, I won't sing to you. That would do nothing positive for your memory. Okay, so hopefully that was enough of a distraction. So, what were the three words that we just repeated to ourselves? Right. They all had to do with flowers, and we had dirt, bud, and spade. Good. All right, so now let's take another trial here, and this trial is bloom, water, leaf, purple. Repeating again, bloom, water, leaf, purple. And repeat it again with me. Bloom, water, leaf, purple. Okay, so now I'm going to make that one disappear. And again, we'll give you a little bit of a distraction. So for this distraction, let's say the months of the year. So we'll do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And we'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we aren't counting and doing the months of the year because I don't think you know those. That's not the point. The point is simply a distraction because we're trying to remember things that we already repeated. Okay, so it's just like real life. You try to remember something and you get a phone call. Then you have to go back to remembering what you were trying to remember. So that's what that little break was. So what were those 4 words? Right, so again, staying within that category, or for our training purposes, I want to stay within that initial category of flowers. And so yeah, we had bloom, water, leaf, and purple. Okay, so a purple bloom and water and leaf. Okay, good. So we repeated. So when you need to remember something, you continually repeat that to yourself. So let's try another one. So let's go with, these are now unrelated words. So let's repeat these together. Hat, table, sky. And some people might find it easier to repeat quicker. So let's go ahead and repeat them faster. Hat, table, sky. Hat, table, sky. Hat, table, sky. Okay, so I'm not going to give you too much of a break on this one. But again, I want you to think about this as an opportunity to practice. So just like we might be doing our bicep curls to strengthen our biceps, this is a strategy to strengthen your brain. It's a practice. It's a repetition practice. Okay, so what were those 3 words that we just repeated that were unrelated? Okay, did you get them all? Hat, table, sky. So also as we're practicing this today, I want you to think about and see which is easier. Is it easier for you if you repeat it slowly, like we did on the previous slide? Or do you have more success if you repeat the words more quickly, giving yourself less time between those words? Our next trial that we're doing, our words are car, pickle, sink, dog. Okay, so let's try repeating these faster again. Car, pickle, sink, dog. Say it with me. Car, pickle, sink, dog. Car, pickle, sink, dog. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to get rid of those words again. And we will have another short break where you're saying those in your head repeatedly. Okay, so a little shorter time there and also a more quiet one without a distraction. What were those 4 words? Car, pickle, sink, dog. Okay, so repeat. And we'll do one more. So this time again, we're going to say the words, and we're going to repeat them more quickly, and then we are going to have a movement distraction, okay? So our words are, say them with me, sorry. Toe, mirror, ball, shirt. I don't know why I picked the word mirror. I hate saying that word. So here we go. We'll say them more quickly. Toe, mirror, ball, shirt. Toe, mirror, ball, shirt. Toe, mirror, ball, shirt. Okay, let's get rid of those words again. All right, so now we're going to just count again, and we're going to go opposite directions each time, okay? So we'll count to 10, starting with our left arm going up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So what were those 4 words? Right. Good work, you guys. Car, mirror, ball, shirt. All right. So after class and even just now, take a little minute to think about this. We did this in a couple of different things. Which did you do well on? Which did you maybe have more difficulties with? Did you use a slow repetition? Did you use a fast repetition? Was the distraction present with body movements, with sound, or other? Or was it quiet? In which of those areas were you best able to remember our target words? So think about that and process it. Jot it down in your notebook. Okay. So going back to our earlier, we're learning our new strategy again here. And so I want to stick with our theme of the flowers. And our first 2 words were dirt and bud. So when we use this visualizing strategy and are creating a story, what we're doing is putting 2 things together. And oftentimes it's best if this story that you create, this visualization that you create is a little bit more unusual. That kind of triggers the brain to be able to pay attention better because it's out of the norm. So obviously our flower words aren't the most wild, stimulating types of things, but I wanted you to at least start off with this. So our 2 words were dirt and bud. But when we put them in this visualization and this story creation, we truly only have to remember one thing, and that's dirt with a bud. Okay? So this picture helps you remember and create the story with visualization. So our next 2 words were water, leaf, right? So then what we do is we create this story, we create this picture of water on a leaf. Okay, so again, we've taken 2 items, put them together to make one. Okay, so we had the dirt with a bud, water on a leaf. Okay, so now let's put it into some functional use. We did a little practice. Now let's put it into functionality. So we're going to be working on visualizing strategy for our grocery list. So maybe you're in your bedroom and you're trying to think of things that you need to add to your grocery list, but you're laying in bed and you're snuggly and warm in all this rain, but you want to make sure you remember this grocery list so that by the time you get out to the kitchen or the living room later in the day, you don't forget those things you thought of snuggled up in your bed in the morning. So our 2 items that we're going to work on our 4 items for our grocery list are fish and milk, bananas, and peas. Okay, so fish and milk, bananas, and peas. If I do it this way, I have to remember all 4 of those and repeat those. I could use my repetition strategy. But again, we want to focus on visualizing now. So we're going to link 2 items together. So here we have the fish swimming in milk. Probably not the type of fish that you're going to be buying from the grocery store, but it fit my picture and my visualization pretty well. So fish swimming in milk. Okay, I've now got 2 items in one thought. And the other one was bananas chasing peas. So again, kind of a bizarre picture that I've created with my bananas chasing peas, but I can guarantee you, because of this picture that I've created, I'm going to remember bananas chasing peas better than if I just tried to remember the two separately. So let's go back and look at those again. We have fish, milk, fish swimming in milk, and we have bananas, peas, bananas chasing peas. Okay, so now what we do, as I mentioned, is that we now have 4 items that we can remember with only 2 sequences, right? It's only 2 pieces of information versus 4 items individually. Okay, so let's take just a second and we'll see if we can come back and remember what those 4 items on our grocery list are. All right, so we had fish swimming in milk, bananas chasing peas, right? So what I'd like for you to do again is to take your notebook there and jot that down. So we should have written in our notebook for strategies, repetition, and then creating a story or visualizing a strategy, visualizing as our strategy. Okay, and remember, the wilder the better. When you create your visualization or your story, the better. Okay, so think about the sky is falling. You know, the kid who kept saying the sky is falling, the sky is falling. That was a wild story, but we all remember it. Okay, so for a cognitive stimulation activity, challenging your brain, what I want you to do is to write down 6 to 10 items in your living room. Okay, so obviously you might have couch, chair, TV. Write down all of those items. Okay, so let's just jot down this instruction on your paper. I'm also going to put this in the messenger. I thought that might be a good way to kind of help you guys with this too, so that if you don't have a pen or paper handy when we start the class, you can still participate in some of these stimulation activities. So write down 6 to 10 items in your living room. And then I want you to put them in alphabetical order. So the reason for this, again, isn't because I don't think that you can do that. It's really a matter of making time to stay focused and attend to an activity. Okay, so just being focused and engaged. And then I want you to draw those items. So I know some of you are probably ready to throw fruit at me or flowers at me because you hate drawing. But drawing is a wonderful thing to do to stimulate your brain. It might be something new that you've never done before. It may be something that's really hard for you, like it is for me. But it's a really great way to get the brain thinking and the muscles thinking, not muscles thinking, but muscles doing in a different way. Okay? Then the next step of this challenge is to write those same words or your objects that you wrote down, those 6 to 10 items, from memory. Okay, so again, we're kind of going back to that visualization concept by the drawing, right? So when I asked you on the previous slide to draw those items, we're also triggering that ability to visualize. So you're going to write those words from memory. What were they? Did I use visualization after I drew them, or did I use repetition to help me remember those words that I had earlier? Okay, then I want you to draw those same items with your non-dominant hand. Okay, so again, we're really working on some of that neuroplasticity, looking at how can we make our brain challenged by doing something ordinary even, so to extraordinary, by moving it to the non-dominant side of the body. Okay, so have fun with that one. All right, so as always, I love to have a little time to try to make you smile, especially after all that sweat we just had from thinking and remembering and talking about drawing with non-dominant hands. So I thought this was kind of fun. It's some videos of babies or small children with just a little lemon. So let me see if I can get this to go big. And here we go. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I think those little ones are so cute, and it cracks me up when they're not quite sure whether they want to eat some more or run away. All right, so for homework, I want you to do this each day. Find time every day for a task where you're engaging and staying attentive. Stay connected. Call or write a family member or friend. Again, I know these are repeated, but they are important every week. Keep moving every day. This week might be a little bit tricky to get outside with all the rain we're supposed to have, but still get out and do your walking, or even walking within your own home, or doing your marching like we did today, but stay active. And of course, do your exercises on channel 1960. Practice your deep and focused breathing. Excuse me, we didn't work on that today, but just as a review, remembering that we want to breathe deep into our diaphragm and out through our lips. So breathing in through our nose and out through our lips. And I think that Bridget and Kathleen had a mindfulness activity as well where you were able to practice that with them too. So keep working. And then just remember, the brain loves to be challenged. So show your brain some love this week and try to eat at least one meal a day with your non-dominant hand. Okay? It's okay. You can put some towels down, put some paper towels, some napkins, whatever you need to do. But try eating at least one meal every day with that non-dominant hand. All right, until next time. Practice physical distancing, stay connected with others, complete the Wellness Olympiad challenges, and be well. Thanks for joining me. Have a good week. Bye-bye.